With the 2020 NBA draft coming up pretty soon, I want to look back at the last 5 years and redraft the top 5 selections. So if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. The last person to like this video is my favorite subscriber, and let's hop into it. Now, I want to make it clear that a lot of these selections are very close, especially for that 5th pick, and I'm also using the redraft from the previous seasons in this video as reasons for or not drafting a player. But we're going to start it off by going back to the 2015 draft where the Orlando Magic hold the 5th overall pick. Now, originally, they took a foreign prospect in Mario Hezonja. I think it's safe to say they're not going to make that selection again. He only lasted 3 years on the team, and through his first 5 seasons has averaged 7 points, shooting 42% from the field and 32% from 3. He's had some iconic highlights, but with the chance to redo this selection, the Magic go with 6'7" Kansas small forward Kelly Oubre Jr. It came down to him or Montrezl Harrell, and due to age, I'm giving Oubre the benefit of the doubt. He's really grown into a versatile scorer, averaging 19 points, shooting 45% from the field and 35% from 3 this season. With the 4th overall pick, we've got the New York Knicks, and they're going to stay with their same selection in Kristaps Porzingis. While they made the ridiculous decision to trade him, he is the best player on the board, and if they had a chance to redo that decision, you can argue he would still be on the Knicks. In 4 years, he's averaged 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks, shooting 36% from 3. Then we've got the 76ers at 3, who originally took Jahlil Okafor from Duke. While Okafor has managed to just barely hold on to his spot in the league, he's definitely considered a bust at this point, and instead, they draft Ohio State guard D'Angelo Russell, who over the past 2 seasons has averaged 22 points and 7 assists, shooting 43% from the field and 37% from 3. Due to some later picks, I really like this selection for Philly. With the 2nd overall pick, we've got the Los Angeles Lakers. Originally, they drafted D'Angelo Russell, who, like we talked about, has been a great player, but with the chance to remake this selection, they go with Kentucky shooting guard Devin Booker, who was originally the 13th pick in the draft. This season, he's averaged 26 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds on amazing efficiency, and the Lakers are more than happy to bring him in. Then we've got the number 1 pick in this 2015 draft, which not surprisingly is going to stay the same. That's the Minnesota Timberwolves taking Karl Anthony Towns. While they've struggled to put a winning roster around him, the blame can't be put on him. Since being drafted, he's been one of the top big men in the league and is now averaging 27 points and 11 rebounds, shooting 41% from 3. Now we go to the 2016 draft where the Minnesota Timberwolves hold the 5th overall pick. They originally took Kris Dunn, and well, that's not happening again. This spot was tough. I had to decide between guys like Domantas Sabonis, Jamal Murray, Buddy Hield, and Malcolm Brogdon. I really struggled, but given these guys are relatively close, I'm automatically taking off both Hield and Brogdon due to age. So now it's between Sabonis and Murray. You can go either way, but personally, I'm going to give the slightest edge to Sabonis with his growth he has shown recently. It was a tough decision, but the Timberwolves decide to form one of the best young front courts in the league. Then we've got the Phoenix Suns at 4, who decided to go with Dragan Bender, and again, I really don't have to explain why they aren't doing that again. They decided to go with a guy that has really emerged this season as a possible future two-way star, Jaylen Brown. He's averaged 20 points, shooting 49% from the field and 38% from 3 this season. They're really happy to redo this selection. Going to the 3rd spot, we've got the Boston Celtics, who I'm sure are happy with their original selection, but now have the opportunity to get Pascal Siakam, and they don't pass that up. He's played a huge role in Toronto bringing home a title and has gone to the next level offensively this year, averaging 24 points on very solid shooting splits. Now we've got the 2nd overall pick, and it's going to stay the same, and that's the Lakers selecting Brandon Ingram. He got off to a pretty slow start, and I think if they knew what Ingram would become as a scorer this year, they would have been much more reluctant to trade him to New Orleans. Then we've got the last selection of 2016, and that's the 76ers sticking with their original pick, Ben Simmons. I really believe their front office has made some poor decisions when it comes to his supporting cast, but really believe with what he can do on both sides, Simmons can lead a championship roster, so they are more than happy to keep this pick. Now we've got the 2017 draft where we're going to see a lot of movement. The 5th overall pick is in the hands of the Sacramento Kings, and their decision is pretty tough. Right now, guys like Lonzo Ball, John Collins, and Lauri Markkanen are on the board. Again, I'm fine with any of these selections. Personally, if I had this pick, I'd probably lean towards Lonzo Ball, but with what John Collins has proven as a scorer, I think that's a route the Kings would go in this redraft. The Suns are at 4, who originally took a bust in Josh Jackson, so this time I have them giving Jaylen Brown a pretty nice partner in the backcourt with De'Aaron Fox. I was really hoping for a bigger jump from Fox this season, but he's still a great young point guard, averaging 20 points and 7 assists a game. At the 3rd spot, we had the Boston Celtics via a trade, but this time that doesn't happen, and the 76ers are here. This one is tough, with the best players on the board not being the best of fits, but they go ahead and get an incredible defender with Bam Adebayo. The floor spacing here is going to be questionable, but defensively, this team would be scary. They decide to take the risk. Then we've got the Lakers at number 2, who got one of the most hyped up prospects we've ever seen in Lonzo Ball. He's been a pretty solid player to this point, but really hasn't lived up to those sky-high expectations. With the opportunity to remake this selection, they take the former 13th overall pick Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell made it clear from the start of his rookie season he fell too far in the draft, and at 23 years old is averaging 24 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds a game. Then we've got the 1st overall selection in the hands of the Boston Celtics. They're getting their same selection with Jason Tatum. It's just this time they're taking him at a different spot in the draft. The Celtics, with what they've seen from Tatum, I assume are very content with their selection. He is the future of this franchise. He's averaging 24 points, shooting 40% from 3, and has proven himself when put in the role as the #1 option. Now we go to the 2018 NBA draft, where the Dallas Mavericks hold the 5th overall pick. Now at the time of this draft, they actually traded up to the rights of the 3rd overall pick Luka Doncic, but this time, that's not happening. Knowing that Dennis Smith Jr. didn't develop as they expected, they take the original 8th overall pick Colin Sexton. In his 2nd season, he's proven himself as a scorer, averaging 21 points, shooting 47% from the field, and 38% from 3. With the 4th pick, we've got the Memphis Grizzlies, who took Jaren Jackson Jr. This time, he's off the board, so they take one of the top young point guards in the league, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, this could be a weird fit if their 2019 selection, which we'll get to, remains the same, but Shai has proven himself capable of playing alongside a true point guard this season, so it really shouldn't be a problem. At 4, we've got the Atlanta Hawks, who originally got Trae Young, and I think they're very happy with that selection, but with him not being available, they go ahead, take the best guy on the board, which is Jaren Jackson Jr. Younger than most rookies, Triple J is averaging 17 points, shooting 40% from 3, and has a very bright future on both ends of the ball. Still sucks, though, that they're missing out on Ice Trae. At 2, we've got the Sacramento Kings. They originally got Marvin Bagley, but that's not happening this time. Because of the previous redrafts in this video, they don't have De'Aaron Fox, so they go after a point guard, and their decision is very easy. They take Trae Young, who's averaging 30 points and 9 assists a game. Now we've got the #1 pick, where the Phoenix Suns selected Arizona center DeAndre Ayton. By no means has he been bad, but with the opportunity to remake this selection, you already know what they're doing. While they've gotten Jaylen Brown and De'Aaron Fox in the past 2 redrafts, they don't care about a fit, they don't think about it, and draft Luka Doncic. Doncic projects to have an award-filled career, as in just his 2nd season, he's averaging 29 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds a game. Now we've got the most recent and last draft of the video, the 2019 NBA draft. Now we're not going to take too long on this one, as there wasn't too much change. I really struggled deciding what the Cavaliers would do at 5. They no longer have Colin Sexton, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense to just stick with their same selection, Darius Garland. But really thinking about it, if we went back to redraft this, knowing what we now know, I think they would go Tyler Hero. As a part of a competing Miami Heat team, he's averaged 13 points a game, shooting 39% from 3. Hero, at the very least, is going to be an elite shooter throughout his career, but has displayed the potential for him to be an elite overall scorer. So that's what I have the Cavs doing at 5. But after that, I really don't think anything changes. I guess you could argue that the Hawks might go with someone different or not make the trade up in the first place, but DeAndre Hunter's been what I expected. So unless they expected him to be Kawhi Leonard off the jump, I think they're all right with this pick, especially given we don't know how the players beneath him are gonna pan out. At 3, we still have RJ Barrett to the Knicks. I mean, he hasn't been amazing, but there isn't a player that should be taken above him here as of now. Then the Grizzlies take Ja for obvious reasons, given Zion is going number 1. Now, I actually don't find it too crazy for someone to take Ja number 1 in a redraft, given the serious injury concern with Zion. But with the impact Zion has made when he's been on the court, you just have to take the risk. But that's the end of you guys. I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. How different do you think these teams would be in these redrafts? I mean, you go look at the 76ers. They've now got D'Angelo Russell, still Ben Simmons, and Bam Adebayo. The Suns now have Luka Doncic, De'Aaron Fox, and Jaylen Brown. The Lakers have Devin Booker, Brandon Ingram, and Donovan Mitchell. There's a lot of mix-up here, a lot of different changes. I want to know your guys' thoughts, but the shout-outs are gonna be Ross, Michael, Lucas, Gigi, and Trenton. If you guys want to shout out on the next video, all you gotta do is like the video and comment liked or rep notification squad, and I'll shout 5 you guys out. With all that being said, hope you guys have a great day, and peace.